Welcome to
Okay.
Momentum Monday. Today is March 14, Pi Day. Howard, have
Does
you
my
had
hair
any?
look better from this distance or this distance? I got a haircut and literally she spent an hour. I don't even know how you spend an hour
Now?
on my hair. Yeah.
Are you sure on your
I, I,
hair? Maybe on other parts of your body, not the
she
head.
might have found a Bitcoin or something up there, but I don't know. I felt guilty. I mean, she was cutting with like,
Looks good though. Looks good.
all right. It's really depressing getting this old, Ivan. Just need you to know that. So don't respect your elders because it's very hard. I'm thinking of doing plugs all along the forehead. Would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. Just
I mean, I should get the
get
same
some
haircut as you.
perspective.
I just want to have your masculine hairline that you have. It's fantastic. That Bulgarian.
Well, I'm younger than you, so I'm sure that you are a lot better.
I
Here.
thought like Dominicans, people like you lie about your age and you're all in your 50s because you all say you're 18, but you're not.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get to the markets.
All right. Let me share my screen.
Share away.
All right. So, I mean, the main trends persist. I mean, the same trends persist. Interest rates are going higher. TOT, the long-term treasury bonds ETF, is down to a very interesting point here. It's a 50-month moving average. Let's see if this acts as some form of, support, at least in the short-term perspective. But in general, most stocks continue to make new high. The small cap ETF Russell 2000 closed at new all-time highs. The S&P is also there, or at least setting up for a breakout. Mid caps as well. So the only thing that is kind of lagging are tech stocks. As you can see, this is a chart of Nasdaq Composite still below its 50-day, but it could easily, set up and catch up.
I mean, listen, if the NASDAQ can't get going, everything will roll over. There's only so much people will bid up oil and banks. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, listen, the reopening trade is real, correct? Look at it, like it's just, you look at some of these retailers. Look at Macy's. You want to see reopening? I don't even get it.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah. But
That's a 4-bagger, a 5-bagger.
I know it's up like 70% year to date.
But take a look at the monthly. People need to remember what the truth is. And the truth is, this may be your last chance ever, unless there's a secret plan.
I know.
Reddit has. This may be your last chance ever to sell. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. I walked by a Macy's today to get this pile of shit haircut, and it was like you could fire off a cannon without hurting anybody. So they may be reopening, but I don't know who they're reopening for.
Well, the market is betting that people are going to use their stimulus money for, clothes, shoes.
No, they're going to use it for crypto and for stocks.
Some of it, yes, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, the crypto. Did you get your check Friday? I know, Ivan, you probably applied for it.
Unfortunately, I didn't get 1 cent from the government. I'm only giving.
All right. Are you sure? And why haven't you moved to Miami? Why are you paying these stupid California taxes? You're a smart young man.
Hey, maybe at some point I will, but as of right now, I like it here.
Guess who's going to Miami this week?
You? Good job.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of white linen clothes for the trip this week. They're going to be like my Starsky and Miami Vice.
Playing golf or what?
No, just it's a crypto week there, and I get a chance to meet the mayor and spread COVID to him. I'm going to bring COVID from Phoenix.
Sure.
To Florida, because Florida, they don't mind if you bring COVID in. All right, so get that Macy's before I throw up. Get the Macy's chart off.
I mean, all the recovery stocks have been acting really strong. All the leisure stocks, we're talking hotels, airlines, just either setting up or breaking out.
God.
So, yeah, you might not like them as companies, but their charts are looking phenomenal. So
God bless the market.
Even more shocking is all the broadcasting companies, all the TV stations.
Oh my God, Viacom. I took a look at that, and
Viacom, Discovery.
It's like
it's like they're printing crypto or something.
Were they
Uh,
on any list? I don't think they've been on any of my lists.
I know it's been crazy. All of them that are related to.
What do you think they're related to,
I
Viacom?
have no idea what's going on. Well, at some point, I was thinking, is it possible that people think that they can tokenize their content? But then again, you have someone like Netflix, Apple, and Amazon. They have a bunch of original content. They're not moving based on that.
I don't know. So listen, the market is fun. Money is moving. That's all I care about. God bless the people that caught Four-Bagger and Macy's. That's what the markets are supposed to be. Like the money should stay in the markets. And so you have this massive amount of stimulus. It turns out not that many people lost their jobs, despite what the press would tell you. They kept the airline jobs. Everybody kept their job except service business. And don't get me wrong, but these service people that wanted to be in service will either go back into service. They got their stimulus checks. They cut their spending. They hit up their parents. They survived. We're like 3 months away. I mean, in Dallas and Miami, they still thinking COVID didn't exist. So, whether COVID morphs or not doesn't even matter at this point because America's going back. And, I think the biggest mistake I made was, the Disney, if I think of all the reopening ideas, Disney was probably my biggest mistake. I'm looking for an entry point because, they've nailed the digital.
It's looking tight here, actually. Good.
They've nailed the Disney Plus. Then I guess I'm hearing the theme parks are sold out. And if anybody can tokenize, it's going to be Disney with all their characters and all the shit they can sell and the trust. Because in the end, NFTs and all this tokenization comes down to trust. And maybe you're right. Maybe Viacom and all their old shows and all their old entertainment. You know what I mean? So you make a good point. Now, does that mean when the news really happens on the reopening trade, the stock market was going up while the economy was doing shit in March, April, May, June, July. And now it could suck a lot of people in here. Not that I believe that's going to happen because there's just so much money. And there's just, people paid down their debt. Their home prices went up. They haven't had to pay their school loans. That could be a big thing when they have to pay their school loans again, if.
Look, so the reopening might be a sell the news event, just because over the past year, I think the poorest 25% in the US, they made 20% more than they usually make when they work. So when we have the reopening, a lot of people are gonna make less money. So it might be a sell the news event, but so far the market is, as I said, pricing in going back to normal at some point in the next 6 to 12 months. As we know, the market strives to be forward-looking.
Yep.
Well,
the don't panic in March trade, which we were all over, it was the trade of the century, bigger than the 08 trade. It just happened in a shorter period of time. Obviously, by March 2009 was the all-time trade. I think what will prove to be a bigger trade was by the March 2020 crash. You have everybody participating: tech, financial, dead retail. You have transportation participating. You have cleaned up balance sheets. You have like a free start, and then you have democratic governments that's going to piss money away. Now, the question is taxes. I actually am worried about, what will happen. Someone's going to pay for this, and they're going to try and make people like me pay, which is fine. I'll start selling things in ahead of that, and you need us in the market. All right, what's this one? This is
just pull up the retail ETF.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's got to be GameStop is in there or something.
I mean, all the retailers are there.
But I think GameStop's in it for it to do this. No, I'm sure GameStop is in that index.
Oh, yeah, for sure, but it's not just GameStop. There's
no, why it's up that much, because that thing was very heavy Amazon before that. I think this remains, I brought it up last week, this is the most scary and interesting thing, looking at GameStop trading at that valuation, and the company is kind of, if they announce that they're going to sell shares, the stock will now crater. And so this is kind of like a token. This is literally not a company. It's trading as if it were some kind of blockchain, even though, and it's trading in the public markets as if it was an NFT at this point. So they're operating 5,500 stores that no one wants to go to. And what's their market cap? 20 billion.
18, yeah, 18 and a half, yeah.
20 billion, but everybody wants to play Roblox. And so I don't know. There's a disconnect. This is kind of the scariest stuff that's going on, is that stuff like GameStop is trading where it's trading. But here's Roblox, 40 billion, no stores, selling digital stuff to kids and teenagers and their parents. So this will probably be one of those 8 to 80 companies. I'm sure this was not an overnight success. There's been tons of stuff on the internet where you find good research on this company. I don't know, where do you see there's tight setup? What are you looking at?
I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
For example, in the gaming and the gambling industries, quite a few breakouts and setups as of late. I guess the market is expecting that people are going to spend.
B2B technology, that's lottery. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's a new public company.
Yeah, so I mean, the entire sector is just looking good.
Gamble, that's a great name for a site. The one that I thought was interesting, because they have a great app, and my friend is Ryan Spoon's COO is MGM, which is kind of a sports betting app that's supposedly better. I've looked at it; it's a beautiful app. Their sports betting app, and if you look at Penn and DraftKings, like MGM's a better like business. So it could be the poor man's play on go look at a monthly on MGM.
Yeah, definitely setting up. I actually played it last week, so definitely.
Yeah, I've owned it for a while, but this one really, because you get all the sports betting on top of the old casino, so it's truly like at Disney, like a reopening trade, and taking out all-time highs. No, it isn't taking out all-time highs.
Multi-year highs.
Yeah, 15-year highs. So that one interests me. I own a little bit just as a spec play.
It's worth almost as much as GME, GameStop, like 19 billion. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, there is so much opportunity in the market for people to just look at market caps and speculate based on market cap, which is where I believe tokens end up going. This is why I'm super bullish on the exchanges in the end. It's like eventually these companies don't need money anyways, so they should just trade based on market caps. You should just trade everybody against their market caps. There's going to be this whole secondary market that trades market cap only, betting on which company will be bigger based on revenue, based on profits. Like, the stuff that's going to happen in the next 20 years is mind-blowing, which is why the exchanges are doing well, which is why Coinbase is at 100 billion, which is why Binance's token, which you can't pull up here, BNB, is at 300, which is a token, not even traded in the stock market, and why FTX and why eToro and why Robinhood are trading at these valuations. Even though Schwab's at all-time highs, go look at Schwab at all-time highs. They're never going to get into these businesses, right? Like, I mean, what do you think that is based on rising rates and just assets?
There is a lot of money in the system, and everything we see, especially in all types of markets, is just a side effect of too much money.
My Goldman is the one that's working. GS that I've been talking about here for weeks.
Anything financial is just
working. Yeah, but that's the one that's like tech meets finance. It's a perfect moment for them. Gently rising rates. They've got I don't know. Like, we should just shut up. Like, I mean, you've got the checks going in. You've got pent up demand. You've got these revenge chats going on, revenge travel, revenge spending, revenge entertainment, blah, 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 blah.
So related to travel, is looking good. Booking, this is the more
MMYT, which is the Indian version of this. You want like Yahtzee exposure to this, which is the one I play, MMYT. I mean, this thing has been going sideways. Go look at it monthly on MMYT. Okay, so this is India's version of Booking.com. Okay, India's still in the middle of this pandemic. Like, so here you go. Like, if there's really going to be a reopening, you want leverage to travel, This is India's version of Booking, like ready to go. So, yeah, I bought it on like the yearly breakout, Ivan, but I mean, this thing could go on multi-year run. So I don't know.
Well, I hear people spending, millions of dollars for digital art, all that NFTs, all that tokenization is creating very interesting virtual worlds where a lot of people probably spend a lot of their time in the future. So I'm also thinking that some of the tech companies that are involved in that space are
Like
going.
what?
Facebook, for example, I mean, they have Oculus.
I agree. Look at everybody written it off. It's starting to build the right, it's trying to build a base here.
So it could be the next internet. I mean, everyone talking about internet 3.0, and we have virtual reality, which is just starting to get mainstream. So it might be the next big trend for the next 20, 30 years.
That might be. Well, I mean, like I've been telling people on my blog, guys like me who you're not even in the space yet. You're living in the balance sheet, income statement, stock market world. So you've never traded a digital coin, have you?
I've traded them, just the main ones.
No, but do you trade them on Coinbase or do you trade them on GBTC?
I trade them through a broker.
Right, you're trading them not through a digital, like where your passwords on a Trezor. You're trading them not on an exchange. You're trading them on as stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you have not yourself opened up a Coinbase account, physically set up.
I had one, it was hacked a few years ago, so I'm not talking about it anymore.
I mean, I'm laughing, but that's not funny. But what I mean is exactly sophisticated people like yourself, like market people who aren't scared, still have not made this move. And what's happening, Ivan, and you're going to be the crossover type people. And we can see this in the NASDAQ. We can see, while the NASDAQ is lagging, let's pull up the QQQ again. People are like making fun of the NASDAQ. Fine, they're excited about the IWM. But go look at it. You can't pull it up here. Most people can't even pull up the DeFi edition. Go pull up just Bitcoin. It's up 100% this year. So there is new tech, which isn't in the NASDAQ 100 in many ways. And so while now everybody's going to be benchmarking against the NASDAQ 100, there's going to be all these new technology indexes where you're going to have to start learning and living in, because basing your returns on the S&P is going to seem archaic in 20 years. And what's happening, Ivan, is people like myself who have lived a little bit more in the future than you, not much, now have enough assets in the digital world. Some people are doing stupid things. And it was quoted in the New York Times for this. I was misquoted, actually, which said there's a period right now where some people are doing stupid things. They just quoted me and said people. They didn't put the some part in. But what's happening is you have enough assets in the digital world, and if you have enough assets in the physical world, at some point you stop bringing your assets back over to the physical world, right? Because they can return capital on the other side. And there's no point in bringing them back. The governments will figure out how to tax you over there. Now, some people are doing stupid things buying NFTs. I think they're dumb. I think 99% of the current NFTs will go somewhere near a penny, okay? Because the businesses that you'll just lose. Anyways, that money will disappear. But the platforms on which this stuff is happening will be the future Binances and the future FTXs and the future eToro and Coinbase. And that's what's going on. People like myself don't want to bring the money back. And instead of buying NFTs, we're looking for ways to get returns in the digital world that aren't as volatile as Bitcoin, as Ethereum. We want the upside, but we've already got the upside. So you're going to start having all these products to dampen volatility in the digital world, where I'm happy to make 6% or 8 or 10% a year, but I don't want to take the 80% volatility. And so that's the exciting part of what's happening, to allow people to participate, to keep their money in that digital world. And that's going to be more and more competition for the QQQ, the IWM, and the SPY. And so maybe that comes with the reopening trade where the volatility comes back and stocks start rolling over, but enjoy it while you can, because stimulus checks are in the bank. There's going to be tons of infrastructure spending by this government. They may not get away with much else, but they're going to get away with that. And we need it. We need better airports. We need better trains. We need better travel across this great country. So, you know, I think your call is once all this happens, the markets just flip over anyways. And that's it's probably.
It's possible. I mean, I'm trading setups anyway, so whatever shows up.
All right. What about biotechs and anything else?
I mean, biotech is not looking as good as some of the reopening stocks I mentioned, but we'll see here. It's just like the Q. Probably needs more time to consolidate.
She had a good bounce back. ARKK, she had a good bounce back week.
ARKK very volatile, still below its 20. So it's kind of becoming a laggard as of this point.
Yeah, so it'll take some time. The hit was made. They hit their 200-day. If the trend continues in 2 years, those will look like great buying points. If we're going to roll over this, they probably go sideways for a while and then start heading down further. Okay, where's Tesla? Same thing. So all the big tech that had the great runs are could mark some time here. Still a 96 level.
It takes 9 months to consolidate sideways or in a big range until they they need some consolidation time after the big move they made in the past year and a half.
All right. Do you want me to bring you anything back from Miami?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
How's San Diego?
It's amazing. A little chilly lately, but it's beautiful.
It's been chilly in Phoenix too. I think it's going to start warming up right now.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great week.
All right. You too, Howard.
See you, everybody.